Discographers.
You are listening to the Chartographers, where, we rank albums and do shit with that. And you know what? It's the Happy Hour Minisode, and it is so happy and wonderful and glorious as we talk about the Flaming Lips, the Fearless Freaks, the Oklahoma friends that and, might do drugs with, because they do a lot of drugs. Not Wayne as much, apparently, but there's a lot of drugs that go on.
He says.
Yeah, he says. There's
Evan, you know how you write a bunch of, album or song-based puns at the beginning? Yeah. I totally didn't use my terrible one I had at the beginning.
Which was?
Finally, the podcasters are taking acid. We're all tripping balls, everybody.
Yeah, all right. Guys, listen, I know you're hearing audio sounds come out of us, but it's like an electric snakes in the air, man. It's just like flying around, baby.
Right, I'm saying words, but I think I'm just hissing.
I think we've all become snakes. Which is, by the way, it sounds like a great Flaming Lips song. So, guys, listen, we did the thing. We have a lot to talk about, as you know, but the thing we need to talk about at the start of every Happy Minute. So we did our ranking. Listen to the ranking podcast. They were really good and contentious and wonderful and filled with information like you wouldn't believe. The guys are making snake faces at me. In studio. Not even kidding about that. Let's do the question that we started to everyone. Guys, what's the worst Flaming Lips song? And I know to say song, it's not plural. It could easily be plural. I feel like we should almost divide this into two categories, because I feel like the first three albums is their own special kind of terrible, and then there's the worst songs on the latter ones. And if you're talking about the ones on the first three albums, for me, it's pretty obvious. It's Maximum Dream for Evil Knievel. That's just a garbage-ass, terrible-ass motherfucking song.
I mean, also, Ode to Cece is backwards and, straight up annoying. Mm-hmm. It's really...
I don't know. I'd probably go with Do Glowy.
I
will say though, if you go on to Hedif ones, I think you could probably just open up the Wikipedia page, maximize that, close your eyes, and just stab your screen with your finger, and whatever it's on is probably the worst song you've ever done.
Fighting robot dogs.
I will say the only song on there I think is worth going back to. I'm going to NASA. While on acid is the only thing.
I don't mind the Chris Martin song. It's a pretty, by the numbers piano ballad, but it works. It's not terrible, I would know. And I think I would also have enjoyed the Erykah Badu cover of The First Time That I Saw Your Face, were it not for the fact that a space opera version of that, great. A 10-minute space opera version of that, not so great. Just, putting that out there.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
Yeah, what's your least favorite early era?
Oh man, early era.
I mean, you could go with Ode to CC too.
I'd probably do the Ode to CC.
All right. So latter era, you would say that. What would you say is your least favorite latter era song? Taran?
I mean, it's sort of an obvious choice, but how will we know from Zyreka with the tones?
A Machine in India is up there for me too.
It's funny to me that you hate that so much.
I'm also really not the biggest fan of Pilot Can. That's kind of really down there.
Wow.
That's why I was surprised, because I kind of think that when I find about Transmissions, I kind of like the opener, and I kind of think the next two are the weakest songs in the whole album. But I don't know. We've already done that, guys.
We're on to other stuff. Jon Harvey wants to talk about how shitty all their music videos are.
Oh yeah, dude. For a band that has such amazing visual art most of the time. I mean, I think when it comes to actual drawings and paintings, Wayne Coyne, he designed the Yoshimi cover.
Yeah, he painted that.
He painted
wow.
that.
Yeah.
They he's a good guy. And then you get these videos, and it's like somebody took a a tape recorder and just went into the backyard and then went into After Effects and scribbled up all these effects.
I mean, that's literally what they do.
That is one of the videos.
Exactly.
But that's also how he made his movie. Was he shot it in his backyard with large equipment that he found in the area.
And just brought in and still tried to make a thing of it.
I'm still always really into Wayne's obsession with vaginas. It's a pretty big obsession with
You
vaginas.
relate to him on that
I relate
level?
to that.
Okay, good. Oh,
but like, I think it's really funny that like I didn't notice that, but when watching when they showed the clips of the Christmas on Mars thing when they had the dude in the spacesuit, I didn't notice that the head just had a vagina on it. I'm like, oh, of course it's a vagina in a spacesuit.
Guys, I don't know if you know this, Wayne Coyne likes pussy, and as of recent likes young pussy too. Kesha, Miley Cyrus.
As long as they're blonde.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a weird parallel
Brittany
too.
And Gwen, for example.
No, but I mean, like, yeah, even in the stage design, I mean, like, for throughout, I think, like 2008 to 2012, the opening of the show would be to Stephen Drozd and the band would play a song titled "In Excelsior Vaginalistic," and then like they have the big round screen, and then Wayne would this chick would be running, and the screen just turns into this big 3D trippy vagina that then Wayne just exits out of on like a hamster ball, and then cue Race for the Prize. So.
Wow.
That's amazing. Oh, wait. Jon Harvey wanted to have a very specific praise to Stephen Drozd.
Oh, yeah, dude. Fucking, yeah. I thought I was going to bring this up in the beginning, just the fact that Stephen Drozd is kind of one of the greatest musicians who ever lived. Just think, the dude is like Jimmy Page, John Paul Jones, and John Bonham combined into one guy. He's one guy. He's one of my favorite.
Yeah, he's an incredibly impressive multi-instrumentalist, and I think that had he not found Wayne Coyne, I think that he still would have created something incredible. We would have heard about him.
Somebody would have picked him up. I don't think you listen to that guy. Because here's the thing, even when, because now that they've had a different drummer, I think occasionally what they do for the live performances, for like Race for the Prize, when I saw them do that like one time at Bonnaroo, like they currently have 2 drummers from the band Space Face to replace Cliff, who left. But when they bring on Steven, like, it's a totally different song. You're like, oh, like, I remember I went to go look up footage of them playing at the Soft Bolton with the Colorado Symphony Orchestra. Yeah. And I, like, loaded up the Race for the Prize thing, and even though I can't really see the band, I'm like, oh shit, Steven's on drums. Mm-hmm. Like, you just know it when it's on there. It's like, almost incomparable. It's not even just a way that it's recorded, it's the way that he plays. I mean, like, how many people can you say are, like, your favorite drummer, guitar player, composer?
Pretty easy for me, Jason Mraz.
So,
yeah, I mean, he's basically like mainstream Stephen Drozd.
You know how this is our podcast? It's not yours anymore.
After what you just said, you need to suffer the consequences.
That's why you're not allowed.
That's why they abandoned the podcast and formed 2 new ones. Evan formed Mrazcast.
Talking about Mr. A to Z from A to Z. That's what we did.
But yeah, we mentioned like a lot of obsession with gummies. I had a friend.
The gummies.
That's right. Gummies.
So there's like just a little context. From like 2009 to like 2011 or 12 maybe.
One of the 2.
It's a really long time. Like Wayne and the band were just obsessed with just gummies, structures, skulls. Is anything
they found a guy. They found a guy who was like able to create custom gummy molds, and they were like, "Oh shit!"
And so it like started off small. It was
the
like
possibilities. This is the thing, is that Wayne Coyne tries to tell us that he doesn't do drugs, and then mass produces gummies with USBs inside of them.
So then it's like, it starts simple with a gummy skull, and there's a USB in the brain, and you gotta go and like reach into that, and then it just started getting bigger.
And the brain is a separate object from the skull. Like you cut open the skull, and then the brain is its own thing.
And then they get that, and then I think like it ended, the climax of the gummy saga is because you have the special test. It was a full life-sized gummy Wayne Coyne with the with the heart piece, and again like with the brain you had to do the same thing with the heart, where you had to take out the gummy Wayne Coyne heart and cut it open to get the USB. And so I had friends that got a brain skull. I forgot what's in it, but my bandmates Dave McConnell and Matt ordered this thing, and they're like, it's kind of cool, but like once you get it, you just don't want to do it. You just don't want to rip it
because it's only like one time.
They're like it's like the weirdest experience having to go and like rip it open, and it feels weird and kind of uncomfortable, and then you're just kind of like left with this mess of gummy.
A little unnerving.
And I'm like, well, did you eat it? It's like, yeah. Like, how did it taste? Like, pretty fucking good. Like, it was a pretty fucking good gummy. But, like, yeah, just the act of it is, like, it's really, like, yeah, I don't think it's a lot of work to get your music, but it clearly hasn't been an issue for them before.
No, I mean, again, but this is around the time when they just began,
No, that's not... They regularly make it difficult to listen to their music.
Yeah, but this is around the time they began floating into the fucking atmosphere of weirdness, because then they also started recording, I believe one of the gummy themes contained a 6-hour song that they recorded, right? 6 hours?
Yeah, there's a 6-hour, there's a 24-hour.
Then they were just like, oh, we could do that. Let's do a 20. Let's do a song that takes an entire day to record.
There's the Seven Skies EP that is just an edit of the 24-hour.
Yeah, into like, here's the most digestible moments, or whatever the fuck.
Well, what's really fucking weird about the 24-hour one is like, so I own Seven Skies. I got it for like pretty cheap, and there's a song on there, I forget what it's called, which it's been changed 3 times and ended up being Cyrus Skies off the fucking Miley Cyrus album.
Oh, really?
Which is generally terrible, except for that one song. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, we also need to talk about, again, this is around the time, extracurricular activities. Yeah, after the whole Kesha Lips progress, which was initially going to be Lipsha, was shut down by Dr. Luke because he's like, you're not going to be doing weird shit. We
have an image to uphold, Kesha.
Fuck you, Dr. Luke. But then eventually, like, he teamed up with Miley Cyrus, and they started, like, collaborating and appearing on things, and then they just went full bore, went into the 2-disc Miley Cyrus and her Dead Pets era. And there are some Mike Will Made It songs on there, classics like BB Talk and Lighter. But then there's a whole bunch of Wayne Coyne fucking around in the studio. Almost, yeah. But beautiful. But yeah, Jesus Christ, that album is such shit. Let's talk about was it Miley's Magic Bowls?
That was one of the only things worth listening to, because it's actual, like, playing with Tibetan bowls, and it's like a nice 1.5-minute ambient piece of music, unlike everything else on there, is just garbage.
Smoke pot. I love beats.
It's just obnoxious.
I don't give a fuck. Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, you're such a rebel. You're a young rebel, Miley.
I'm not a hippie. Yeah. I smoke pot and I love peace, but I'm not a hippie though. Okay, well then what are you?
No
one gives a shit.
That was a pretty long phase too.
It was.
That was
unfortunately. She also sang a lot when they did the fucking cover of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
She did the Lucy in the Sky with the Lucy in the Sky.
Yeah, but she appears on like 4 other songs.
To be fair, that is one of the better ones of the whole thing. I think that's like one of the only kind of okay songs. I really don't like a lot of the
collaborations
or the album covers. I think it kind of works with Dark Side. I don't think it's the greatest thing ever, but like I think like I get it. I think it's kind of cool, and especially the Any Color You Like. I really like the overly aggressive one of that. Mm-hmm. But like again, is it necessary? Probably not. But it's like they're kind of like, oh yeah, this was cool. Let's do it for all these other albums, and then you get to the Sgt. Pepper one, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on anymore.
Yeah, I mean that has been a lot of the latter era Flaming Lips fans. They had to endure a lot of just way too much material flooding the market. A lot of that material not being good, and not knowing what the fuck is going on with the band. That's why like we were also a little bit excited for Oxy Melody too, because like, oh, they're doing albums again. They're gonna have real, and then it just turns to there needs to be more unicorns. Like, Wayne, come on.
Are you surprised that Cliff left?
Well, that was a weird.
Wasn't Stephen Drozd who was like not a fan of doing these pop star girl collaborations too?
The Cliff thing, that one's kind of interesting. Wayne kind of has an interesting history of drama with other people.
For being the smart, intellectual, sweet guy that he is, he can also be a bit of a dick.
Like he's a really good guy, but like he just like I feel like for like it's a lot of time like he's just like so gung ho, or it's just. Especially not really being, like, considering, like, oh, yeah, everything I say is probably publishable. I just don't think he cares about that, so, like, when it happens, like... I will say about the whole Cliff thing, I think that when you join a band that's been existing for 20 years, I think that calling the band leader's girlfriend a cunt is kind of a fireable offense. It was basically, yeah, I think Wayne's been dating, I think this girl, she's like the daughter of the mayor of Boulder or Denver. And there's some incident where she was filmed at a festival in like 2012 wearing the Native American headdress.
I thought she appeared on like a magazine cover or something.
Something like that, yeah. But to be fair, like a little bit fair on her part, that was at the very beginning of that controversy. I think it was like that was going to be addressed by people no matter what. that's who we go for first. Like, we're gonna try and nip this in the bud, and we get that. So, like, they kind of, like, are the figureheads for, like, this thing, like, you have to stop wearing the headbands. It's, like, kind of fucked up and rude. Mm-hmm. And so, like, Cliff just starts, like, kind of bitching about that. The other thing, he kind of had a negative attitude. If you check it, he was kind of a downer on Twitter. And I think it's, like, and the other thing was, you find out later, even though it just kind of got highly publicized, but they said that, like, he even kind of came back later and admitted that, like, I kind of get why, like, this stuff. But it's basically like he wasn't down for the collab albums. You know, they're doing so much shit, and if they were doing something that he wasn't into, he just wouldn't join. And it's like, oh, well, all the other four of them are working constantly, and there's this one guy that doesn't want to join.
Yeah, that's kind of a dick move.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, but the other thing I realized though, go ahead.
Oh yeah, but I mean more beefs. I mean, we've got Arcade Fire. There's the arcade. Do you know about that?
How do I not know? No, do I?
Arcade Fire beef?
Oh, there's a little brief one. I guess they said that before the show. Like somebody was interviewing Wayne, and they were asking about talking about festivals. Like, we had this one festival with Arcade Fire. Like, their music's good, but man, like, those guys are kind of a bunch of dicks.
Oh, I remember hearing about that.
Are you surprised though?
I mean, I will say, in Wayne's defense, I have seen Win Butler play basketball. I could believe it. No, and so
I just believe it, like, looking at their stage presence. Like, they're one of my favorite bands ever, but they...
We will be doing an episode on them.
Kind of seem like they're pretentious assholes.
I think when we were here for Beck, we talked about that one conflict, which was kind of weird. That actually I've learned more since that podcast.
When the Flaming Lips were opening for Beck and being their backing band for a tour, which seems like a match made in heaven.
And so the Lips said that by the time they finished it, they were disappointed, and it wasn't what they thought it was going to be. Like, I guess, like, they said that they didn't really hang out with Beck all that much, and it was more just a by the numbers book. When they, in their head, they're like, oh yeah, it'll be sweet, we'll be just jamming backstage all the time and partying with Beck, or just kind of a bunch of cool weirdos doing cool weirdo stuff. And I guess there's this thing like Wayne was just like, you know, like, the thing of like Beck, like, cool guy, great musician, but like, he's like, dude, sometimes don't even dress himself. Like, dude, put on your own pants, Beck. And then, like, I found out from, like, reading this thing with Beck where somebody asked him about it, and he was like, yeah, I mean, like, it really took me by surprise because I had some weird immune system thing, and I was just sick that whole tour, and, like, I was just in bed constantly, and I sometimes, like, needed help, like, getting up and just kind of getting dressed, and, like, I thought we were cool, and then, like, that kind of really fucked me up for a year because I had all this footage and stuff hanging out where he's saying my brother, and I thought we were cool, and then I get this interview where he's like talking smack about me. It just kind of really messed with my trust of other people for a while.
Damn, Wayne.
Yeah, it's just, but again, like, I could see where that happens because I've also read the thing with Steven. Like, imagine if it's just a big misunderstanding on everybody's parts.
You know, it's not a misunderstanding, though, during the Fearless Freaks documentary when, you know, it's a pretty good documentary. It gives you a lot of insight into the band, lots of home footage, things like that. And then, near the end, you know, I mean, they're talking about drug problems and things like that. Hey, Steven wants to do heroin on camera for the director of the movie. Oh.
Yeah, they don't show him actually injecting it, but they show everything
before
like
and after.
The prep. He's filling the syringe.
I feel like Beasley asked to film that, though, because, like, one thing I'll say, like, I just love Steven Drozd as a human being. He's just like,
we remember your intro.
He's a total sweetheart. I mean, if you see him in anything,
he really is, though.
And if you see, like, even like Wayne has these conflicts, even like the stuff with, like, I love how, like, understated any issue that Drozd might have is hilariously understated.
Yeah,
that's so true, and it was so funny because I feel like even in the footage where he had just taken heroin, so he was like was on, like, tripping out. He still was like, he seemed like a pretty agreeable guy.
And he's like, you know, like, and like, his description of it is like, you know, like, I think it may get kind of serious soon. I'm like, it's very serious.
It's very serious right now. We're kind of freaking out.
I think I need to stop because, you know, like, this could really, like, I'm starting to worry this is gonna end really badly. And I'm like, dude, you're
doing heroin.
And
it was one of my buddies also pointed out, like, have you realized that there has never been a portrayal in any media whatsoever of heroin ever being cool? Like, every portrayal you ever see in, like, movies, TV, anything else.
Like, oh my god, this looks terrible.
It never ends well.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what needs to happen, though, going forward? We need to set Taran up with an interview with Michael Ivins. That's what needs to happen. You know why? Because after that, then every person here recording this podcast will have interviewed a member of the Flaming Lips, and I think that's pretty goddamn cool.
I also had Wayne Coyne sign my fuzz pedal.
Yeah, you did, exactly. You met Wayne Coyne. You also interviewed him, too.
I've interviewed him, yeah.
How was that?
Dude, it was pretty cool. I mean, like, I think, like, with Wayne, and not, like, in a disparaging way, but, like, it's just because I think when you're in that when the public eye that much, like, there's a Wayne Coyne mode. It's a work mode. Mm-hmm. I think we all have our work modes.
Yeah.
And so, like, when you interview him, it's kind of like, once you kind of get him out of Wayne Coyne mode, like, he's just so much fun to talk to.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, yeah, like, at first I was like, I kind of get what you're going on, and once you finally found that, it was just... He's also, dude, his hair was so... Like, his hair is so much bigger than you could ever comprehend in, like, person. Like, I just remember being that, like, I think we may be the same height, but, like, I feel so small compared to him.
That hair holds secrets, we know that, right, yeah. I interviewed
powerful.
Stephen Drozd once.
That one I'm really... obviously really jealous of.
Yeah, but he was also a total sweetheart, very understanding. We went way over time. In fact, he was trying to, it was a phone interview and it happened while he was leaving a studio. He's like, listen, I need to go to the hell. Can I call you back in like 20? And like, yes, Stephen Drozd, you can call me back in 20. And he did. And he was just like, laying around, and just like we just had a very casual conversation. He was dropping names about experimental acts like Popol Vuh and other things like. And then also, we talked about Stephen Burns a little bit because we were talking about the Terror at the time too, and kind of the isolationist aspects of it. He also mentioned how brought up the Steve Burns collaboration because he legitimately worked with the former host of Blues Clues on an album called Song for Dust Mites.
I love that story because they're really, really close friends. Stephen Burns was saying just imagine how weird it was because he was just a massive Flaming Lips fan. They were his favorite band, and he just called. I think he somehow got in contact with Fridman. Dave Fridman just wanted to meet up with them and see what happened. And Steven was, I think, in the middle of kicking heroin, and he's going through a lot of withdrawals, and then he's like, just imagine you're just going through the worst time of your entire life, you're freaking out, and then there's the dude from Blues Clues just sitting on the couch just kind of coaching you through the whole thing.
I feel like, though, yes, that's a weird experience, except that we know from the documentaries that we watched this week that Steven, quote unquote, kicked heroin and went through withdrawal all the time. Mm-hmm. He did it a ton. Every time he would go to record, he wouldn't bring the heroin with him, and then would just go through withdrawal while making these records, which is insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Think about all of the artistic decisions that he made, especially at those later Zarika Onward albums. And he's consistently going through withdrawal.
Oh yeah, no. I love how they described it. Sometimes he would literally just be sleeping through withdrawals, and they'd wake him up just to record a part, and they'd be like, "Am I gonna just do that?" And he'd just crawl over and just do his thing and do it perfectly, and then just go back to bed.
That's amazing. Yeah.
No, they just. I also love how they've all stayed really close friends throughout the year.
Well, and I also like that they're still friends with all of the band members that have left too. They're on good terms.
Yeah. Actually, that was my favorite part during the Fearless Freaks documentary, talking to the brother Drozd, Mark Coyne. Yeah. How he was the jock who was like, "Hey, it'd be cool to sing in a band." I did it for an EP, and it was just this isn't really my thing. Look at Wayne. He said in the time of his life, Wayne just needs to take over, and he just left. Because,
he says something I was just in it, to party and drink, get messed up. It was a fun gathering, but Wayne, this meant a lot to Wayne, and that's why I felt good about leaving, because I think it forced him to really step up, and he surrounded himself with people that really cared and not just some guy that was there to party. Yeah. And Jonathan Donahue, when they go to him because everybody thought he was salty, he's like, "Nah, man, that was just one of the best times of my life. It sounds terrible, we were broke as hell, but man, I wouldn't trade that. It was great."
That's awesome. Also, guys, do you realize we ranked all 14 of their albums, right? That was a fucking journey that we
I still don't think we did it right. I can't tell you what we should be doing differently, but it doesn't... I feel uneasy about our ranking.
I just also feel even with Yoshimi, I came here with the start of research week. I was I don't know, it's really soft, and by the time you wrap it up, it's just, I think it's always gonna kind of change on the moment, which is kind of how I felt about the Kanye one too.
Yeah. I mean, listen, we ended at Graduation, which I don't think a lot of people were expecting, but also Graduation's a great damn album, though. So, and I love My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy much as everyone else. There were flaws on it.
Oh, dude, that reminds me. I saw Kanye Bonnaroo, kind of the infamous one. Flaming Lips were played the next night after that, and they had I guess they had saw the performance before.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine that, dude. I went from Lionel Richie to Jack White to the Flaming Lips. It was crazy.
Jesus.
No, so they like the next night while we're watching the lips, Steve, like I mentioned that like Kanye like started freaking out about the press and just started shouting crazily.
Where the press?
Where the press at? Where the press at? So like Steve and Drozd like they're like tuning for the next song, and like Steve and Drozd is going, where the press at? I want to know where the press at. Where the press at? And just starts going. It was a fun time.
It's great. That's well, listen, this has been going on for a half hour. Any other thoughts, stories? I mean, I know you're always going to have Flaming Lips stories to tell and things like that. Anything else jumping to mind?
No, just lots of vaginas and skulls.
Favorite B-side?
Favorite B-side? Oh, man.
Oh, no. Not even the B-side, but fucking I was getting a little kind of depressed with some latter era stuff when they brought out Peace Sword, the song for the fucking
that EP is like solid.
That's EP solid. Peace Sword, the song killed me. I'm like, oh my god, how did you just drop this?
I really like what's it called? It's Shoot 'em something.
Yeah. Like Kill 'Em All. I know what you're talking about, yeah.
I'm a big fan. I really like the one that they recorded for the doc. Enthusiasm for life defeats the existential fear of death.
You also are a big fan.
You said that one to me.
You're also a big fan of their contribution to the surprisingly amazing SpongeBob SquarePants soundtrack album. SpongeBob and Patrick confront the psychic wall of energy. Yeah. So. Oh, dude! Also, how crazy is that movie when they talk about like when like Wayne almost got killed in a robbery and like he has like the kids like reenact. Oh yeah,
little Vietnamese kid
yeah.
So like
he's like, okay, so now you get on the ground, like you have a gun pointed at you,
and he's like, and I'm the robber, boom boom, and they're playing like this really dark ominous music, and he's like, Coco, and like you're like recreating your near death experience.
What are you doing, Wayne? Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, and they just almost blew my head off right there, and I'm like,
really had to reevaluate my life.
Yeah. But apparently that's one of the reasons that drew him to recording a song for SpongeBob SquarePants the movie, because SpongeBob also worked in the fast food industry, so he understood, he related.
Wayne Coyne had worked at Long John Silver's for 10 years before the lips took off. By the way, dude, like, I normally don't like talking about this thing, but like, dude, the lips are like pretty loaded these days. Money-wise, they are financially doing very well for a psychedelic rock band. Like, holy shit.
Well, the standard of a psychedelic rock band, I'm sure, has some strings to
because, they have this whole back catalog. They are Grammy winners.
They're established. Their live show is...
Yeah, their live show is very well known. Yeah.
Their live
show... There's puppets, there's blood.
I mean, that live shows is how people make money in the music industry at this point.
Yeah, somebody was released those like sheets showing about what they generally book bands at, or like sticker prices for booking. Like the lips, I think, are like $100,000 to book.
Jesus.
But I think a lot of that goes back into production. I read that they spend about $8,000 or $12,000 a show on confetti.
That sounds about right. Oh, and very randomly, because they have fans, they have people. There are a lot of people that really love the Flaming Lips, a lot of friends, if you will. But man, I pulled up this fucking no. But I pulled up this clip of I think it was 2003. They were performing on the Top of Pops because for whatever reason Yoshimi Part 1 was doing really well. And this is around the time that everyone on stage was wearing animal costumes at one point there. And during that particular performance, there's a dolphin playing bass. You're like, oh, cool, whatever you're doing, Michael. But no, it's not Michael. The dolphin takes his head off, and it's Justin Timberlake playing bass on fucking Yoshimi Bells of the Pink Robots Part 1. It's like, okay.
And then Wayne tried talking to Steven Heller, the creator of SpongeBob, to see like when he's assembling the soundtrack, because he also got original music from Wilco around Ghost is Born and the Shins from Shoots Too Narrow.
Yeah.
And so like Wayne was like, yeah, well, we can also get Justin Timberlake on there, and Steven Heller's like, no, I don't want any of that mainstream crap. I want the underground arts. I want something real.
Well, randomly
SpongeBob.
On that SpongeBob soundtrack, I don't know why we're spending a lot of that. I'm happy we're still talking about it, but they have Ocean Man by Ween and a song by fucking Motorhead too. Just like, all right, soundtrack, you got me.
SpongeBob has always had like a pretty wide depth of like influences and cultural touchstones. You're like, oh, okay, that's a random one.
No, yeah, dude, and I love the album Ween's the Mollusk is like a large inspiration for the show SpongeBob, which is why it has Ocean Man on there.
Yeah.
There's even like some of like the dialogue in that show is reference to various songs off the Mollusk.
I kind of love that.
Wow, I did not know that.
So, me in high school discovering the Flaming Lips, big deal, first band ever really, dove into for a while. When I heard it and saw, photos or footage of the parking lot experiments, Wayne was wearing this yellow, kind of like jacket, rain jacket or whatever thing for a while. So, of course, me in high school, I began wearing a yellow jacket of a similar ilk, around all the time, because I'm like, Wayne Coyne did. I thought it was cool. But my love of them drew so far that when I got a copy of Zerika, I freaked out. I'm like, oh my god, I have Zerika. I thought it was like this loss. I thought it was out of print. And I think at the time it genuinely was out of print too. And so I somehow got a copy, and I invited like 12 friends over to my basement in high school, all with CD players, and we actually had a Zerika party. And I remember like shutting the lights off for like A Machine in India, and everyone just like laying on the floor silent as these songs play. And that was the thing, like when we had our Zerika party, I did not remember the dog attack at all. I don't remember. There's a lot of things I don't remember at all, but I do also remember us all enduring through A Machine in India. I remember liking it a little bit more then and hating it now because I'm like, this can end. But yeah, it was an experience. But man, just especially hearing March of the Rotten Vegetables again.
It's like 6 minutes of a good song.
Yeah, that's about it.
And then it has 4 more minutes.
But hearing March of the Rotten Vegetables like this during our party was just like next level.
I definitely hear, and I don't know what the exact timing is on this, but I hear a lot of like explosions in the sky in this era of Flaming Lips.
Interesting.
I also love like the evolution of the Flaming Lips stage show. It's been like always kind of been a spectacle between like the beginning when they were just like setting cymbals on fire and hitting them to like when they did the Clouds Taste tour and they just like set up all those Christmas lights that ran out of a van in the back.
Oh, that was amazing.
Oh yeah,
that was a pretty incredible. And then they had those like spinning light orbs.
No, then like up into like I love the softball one was really cool where they just had like a projector to like to fill in all the stuff that to kind of make up for all the stuff that's pre-recorded. So some of it would be like a lot of it would be pre-recorded drums, or if they had to have Steven play it would be like a video of like Steven playing in the back while it's like also he's there playing the guitars and the keyboard and shit because they toured as a 3-piece.
That's kind of amazing.
And yeah, now it's just kept getting bigger and bigger. Then they had the UFO, where originally the stage was just a big giant UFO that they descend from.
That sounds about right.
It gets wilder.
Apparently, though, when they got signed to Warner Brothers on that night in like 91, 92, they actually did do the thing where they put alcohol on the cymbal of the drum and began lighting it on fire and then hitting it. But during that time, they hit it too hard once, and the flaming alcohol actually went all over the place and started lighting the club on fire.
They have footage of it.
In the end, the Fearless Freaks, where it's just like, you fucking idiots.
Like, they lit the stage on fire.
Yeah. And also, we've been talking about this movie a lot, but, like, that movie for me, like, I feel like some people may have their, like, different entryways. It may have been, like, our band could be your life. If you're a crazy person, it could be Dig. Mm-hmm. But, like, for me, like, that was the one, like, oh, shit, like, I can start a band. I can totally suck forever and then hopefully like one day be good. Like it doesn't really matter. Like it's like one of those things like, oh, this is like anybody can do this.
Yeah. Right. You have to put the work in, but you just get started and maybe you'll get there.
For me it's Dig because like even if you don't love the Dandy Warhols or Brian Jonestown Massacre, which is okay, you don't have to love them. Every time I watch the movie I'm like, I want to record an album right now. Like it's just like every single time. It just gets you so jazzed.
Because like you can never tell if is he actually a genius or is he just kind of like pretty good stuff that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like you can never really is he just like are we just like really giving him too much credit or is this actually kind of genius?
Also, as we all know, the best B-side of all time is their country rock. Thank you, Jack White, for that fiber optic Jesus that you gave me.
See, there's a lot of weird EPs and B-sides.
Yeah, and Taran, to his credit, like when he was doing Research Week, he only listened to the album because like there's so much. I can't listen to your fucking collaborative album with Fuens because no.
See, I tried to listen to Hedy Fuens and it was so bad after the first 3 songs that I was like,
But you know what? Actually, I'll take that back. One of my favorite things, the bonus track he did on Kesha's second album, Warrior, as collaboration with her Past Lives. That's actually rather beautiful, simple, wonderful melody. Like, you're just like, this is what your collaboration could have been. God damn, why not? You go to johnharvey.net for more. He will have his postings, including his latest updates to the Ronald Jones saga, which is a constant, ongoing, updating thing, which is wonderful.
Apparently, I'm a reference in some guy's video.
A 2-hour documentary. I started watching that to, like, catch it. I'm like, I can't listen
Same
to
here.
all
I was
this.
like, I know, like, thank you for referencing me, but, like, without giving me, like, the time marks.
Right, exactly. Like, this is 2 hours of Ronald Jones' backstory. I don't need this. It's great, sure, but yeah, whatever. Guys, what's your favorite Flaming Lips B-side? We want to know, what's your Flaming Lips story? Tell us to it. Go to our Facebook page.
What do you think the worst Flaming Lips
Actually,
song is?
no, I want to know that right now. Whatever you're doing right now, let us know what that is, and it better be good. That's all I can say. Find us on the Facebook, or you could leave it when you give us a rating on iTunes. You could leave your comment there, but what it is. Find us on Stitcher,
on Google Play.
Two Blobs Fucking, I believe we're on there, which is a thing that's happening. I don't know.
GummySkull.com.
JonHarvey.net/podcast.
If you're a real big fan, you can buy our life-sized gummy Evan Saudi with special bonus, unreleased podcast content in the butt.
You really have to reach up. You have to reach up to get it. It is fantastic. The gummy intestines. Mwah, beautiful.
Extract it. From
the Gummy Colon. Guys, Gummy Colon, new band name.
Gummy Colon.
All right, we're done. Keep on listening. You know that we'll be. Have a good one, guys. Thank you so much. Goodbye. We're talking about Mr. A to Z from A to Z. That's what we did. And what else? What's your podcast? Oh, you took this one.
The cartographers. Just put the H at the end.
Oh.
Oh yeah, but so yeah, I also.
It's great.